Steppin Out is sponsored by Zone Delivery USA. Fresh, healthy meals delivered to your door. For more information, go to zonedeliveryusa.com. Hover.com. Go to gfq.hover.com and get 10% off your entire purchase. And by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook by going to audiblepodcast.com/GFQ.
Magazine called Steppin Out.
Steppin Out magazine.
That's a Steppin Out magazine.
Huge crowd roar for Steppin Out.
And Steppin Out magazine.
Tell us, viewers, what do you think of this weirdness? It's maddening, isn't it? I'm everywhere. She's holding a jacket.
Andrew, you still on the air? You're listening to Stepping Out of the Tabloids with Chauncey Hayden. You're on the GFQ Live TV network. Of course, you can also watch this show on so-mag.com. We're broadcasting live from the Sapphire Gentlemen's Club in New York City, the world's greatest gentlemen's club. On the show tonight, this is a special show. A lot of times we'll do celebrity gossip, we'll bullshit for the first 20 minutes of the show. There's no time for bullshit tonight for a number of reasons. One, it's kind of a serious show because the topic we're going to be talking about is a serious topic. Also, the guest we have, it's such an honor to have in the studio. We don't want to waste a minute talking about anything else with anyone else because we're honored to have on the show Dana Cironi. I can't believe I got the name right. I did, didn't I?
Who the hell is Dana Cironi?
You know exactly who Dana Cironi is. And for the people watching, if you don't know, let me just say this. Dana is, and I say E-R. You know what, Andrew? You're such an asshole. I'm from New Jersey. We say Dana. But if you're from Ohio, you say Dana. Mm-hmm. Dana. Better? Anyway.
Much better.
Thank you. She's very well known within the Howard Stern universe, of course, because for years, everybody related you to a relationship with Artie Lange, right? There's no getting around that we know. But also, okay, what you're also here for, the reason why you're here tonight is because you want to promote something that when you approached me on Facebook,
yes.
And I was shocked that you did because it's a topic that a lot of people can relate to that are watching this show. It's a topic that you and I discovered within each other that I can relate to, and we have this bond. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, what we're going to talk about is suicide and how it hurts people that are left behind, what can be done to prevent it, what can be done to survive it for the people that are left, the victims of people that commit suicide. So there's so much to talk to you about tonight, and we were laughing before the show because you are so funny and you're such a great person. Mm-hmm. And let me just start by saying this: the reason why you're really here is because you're doing a benefit that's scheduled for March 30th.
Yes. At
the Walmart Theater in New York, in Montclair, New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a comedy benefit. And I believe the proceeds are going to go to Suicide Prevention Foundation. Mm-hmm. And it's a great cause. And for the next hour, I want to talk to you about it. And I want to talk to you about what motivated you to get involved in this cause. Mm-hmm. All right? So let's start with that. What motivated you? Because you're the last person, getting to know you for the brief time that I have, you're the last person I would expect to be involved in something like this, only because your laughter is so infectious. Okay, you really are a funny person. You could be a stand-up comic. Mm-hmm. This is so serious. Tell me what motivated you to be here with me tonight.
Well, first, Chauncey, I want to thank you for bringing me in here. Also, Andrew, thank you, and Jessica. And I did contact you on Facebook, and simply just to advertise in Steppin Out magazine, right. The great Steppin Out magazine that New Jerseyans, New Yorkers, Connecticut,
is that the only adjective you had all day to think of adjectives, and great is the best you could do?
Amazing.
Remarkable.
I did contact you just to advertise for the show, and you have been amazing and gracious enough to bring me in here, right. And to discuss this. So that's why I'm here.
But what motivated you? I mean, of course, I'm going to give my magazine out to you to promote this because it's such a worthy cause, and there's so much bullshit out there. This is something that a lot of people don't want to do because it's such a dark topic.
Right.
Nobody wants to talk about it. So just the fact that you're here to talk about it really warms my heart because, like I said, for people who don't know my story, I'll say it briefly. My sister killed herself. Debbie killed herself in 1987. My girlfriend, Debbie Tay, if you're a fan of the Howard Stern show, everybody remembers Debbie Tay from the early days of Stern when he was on K-Rock. Debbie took her life in 1997. Both times were devastating to me. Still haven't gotten over it. Don't think I ever will get over it. You know, you don't get over it. You go through a roller coaster ride of emotions from self-pity, anger, guilt, remorse, so many emotions. It's beyond belief, and it's a roller coaster ride that just goes up and down and up and down. I know, Dana, that you've had the same experience. Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell me about the experience that you've had?
Sure. In July, mm-hmm. Jamie, mm-hmm. who I worked with and who is the daughter of someone who's like a father to me, she committed suicide. That, in combination with Artie's attempt, is, I think, what prompted me to try to put together this fundraiser.
And they were pretty close together. I mean, that's a lot. With me, it was spread out over a period of 10 years. You kind of got a double whammy.
Sort of. I mean, I did, but at the time, I was finishing up my master's, mm-hmm. and then shortly thereafter, I had an accident with my roof collapsing. So I really couldn't focus on anything. I had to just finish my degree. That, education, school
right.
doesn't stop. And, I just had to focus.
Right.
So when Jamie committed suicide, I definitely reflected back. And I had a little time. It was July. It was summer. I was finishing, and that's when I decided to put together. I thought of Jimmy Florentine and his girlfriend Jade.
Another experience. Everybody, again, and it's so funny how a lot of it relates back to the Stern show. But of course, everybody knows Jim Florentine from the Howard Stern show.
Well, he's also a great comic in and of itself, and he does the metal show.
Right. Also from VH1's metal show.
He's an amazing comic on his own. He's
Absolutely.
got CDs.
Absolutely. Jim lost someone very close to him.
Absolutely.
And I remember speaking to Jim right after it happened. Mm-hmm. He recalled my experience with Debbie Tay and knew that I had been through it myself, and was like everyone else that goes through it. You don't know where to turn because you don't know how to deal with your emotions. And Jim called me, and I just told him what to expect and what was coming. And I met Jim a few weeks ago, and he actually told me, you were dead on. He goes, all those things actually did happen, and he thanked me because it means a lot to know what to expect. When you're going through it cold, you really don't know what to expect.
Right.
And you can't process it. Mm-hmm. It's hard to process. Mm-hmm. When someone can say, well, Jim, okay, this is what's going to happen. Don't be shocked now, but you're going to hate this girl for a while. You're going to be angry at her for what she did. And then you're going to hate yourself for being angry at her. And then this is going to happen. And then that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. It kind of puts things in perspective and makes sense. Because nothing does make sense. Because it's such an irrational thing for someone to do. And it's hard for any of us to understand. Mm-hmm. I know out of respect to the family, you don't want to get into too many details about Jamie.
I mean, the family is amazing.
Can we say
something that I have to credit them for is their complete honesty, and they're in support of this. And Jamie's father was a teacher his entire life. He's retired now. He's actually currently in the hospital having surgery, but he's an amazing man, and he is pretty forthcoming about everything. And I think ultimately to help other people. just like I'm here doing the same thing.
Let me ask you something. And again, I'm going to start off with my own experience, and then you tell me yours. With my sister Debbie, she told me the night before she died, she goes, Chauncey, I'm going to kill myself. And I looked at her and I laughed and I said, Debbie, nobody that's going to kill themselves kills himself. That proves to me that you're not going to do it. And she went out the next day, and of course she killed herself. Let's start with Artie. Did you ever suspect, I mean, was it one of those things where you didn't think it would ever happen, and then when it happens, you can't believe it, and you feel guilty that you should have done more? Because that's how I felt with my sister.
Well, you just asked a very loaded question, and it's two-part. One is, do I think it would have ever happened? I'm not so sure. Definitely not when I was in his life. I think because of the history, and I know that he had attempted suicide previously, that was in the back of my mind, perhaps
I didn't know
others
that.
as well. Well, it's public.
Okay.
But it's in his book, actually. But with that, I think you suspect, maybe. But do I feel guilty? No. Because I know that I did everything I could. Every single thing.
Well,
I mean, I did feel guilty for some certain things, yes, but...
We had this discussion off the air, and it was kind of fascinating last night because we were talking about that. Is that it's a biological thing where there's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Whereas, like with my sister, I wonder, even if I would have reacted that night and called, an ambulance to pick her up and take her away, would that have done anything? I wonder with Artie, if anyone could intervene that night, if it would have happened again eventually anyway. And if that's the case, is it just biological? And there's really nothing you can do to stop these people if they're that way.
I think really there are a couple of things going on. Could it be biological? Absolutely. And if you look at the statistics and the cases of suicide, there are predisposed conditions such as depression, substance abuse. Right. Jamie, she was pretty much an alcoholic. She was also bulimic. And so therefore, yes, there are conditions that precede the suicide or attempt of, and that's what needs to be intervened with. That's what you need to look out for.
Well, it's fun. While we're talking about it, let me just say this. These are the warning signs. For someone, if you're watching this, if you have a friend, this is what you should really be looking for if you have a friend and you're concerned about. If someone, and a lot of it's common sense, if you have a friend who seems very depressed or sad most of the time, talking about death all the time, you start withdrawing from family, feeling hopeless, feeling helpless, feeling anger and rage, feeling trapped, dramatic mood swings, drugs, alcohol, change of personality, acting impulsively, all these things. I know, I don't know Jamie, if you saw that in her, but I think most of us saw it in Artie. If you listen to the Stern Show, it was documented.
That was in the latter half. I don't know that I was so present for some of that. I'll say preceding that, the only thing I feel guilty about is not traveling with him more. And that's when I developed, my grooming business, just to pay my bills, and sustain my life. And because I love animals so much, I thought, okay, I'm going to become a dog groomer in addition to teaching. With Artie, and I would say any comic, or some, they're a walking warning sign. They're a walking risk factor.
Comics in general, like a lot of comics?
Sometimes, yeah. I think that mind, I cannot put it into words, but, so yeah, he was probably a walking risk factor. But that went with the territory. And then as time progressed, I know that I had to make sure that, I was healthy as well. And I know that I did everything I could to get him healthy. We tried therapy, but when you're thinking of someone that is that depressed, that's another commitment.
Right.
That's another responsibility. That's another added pressure.
You know, it's so funny
to commit to a regular schedule
Right.
of therapy, and yet, you know, you're working so hard, you're doing so many things. Amazing man, Jamie, an amazing person, an amazing teacher. You know, a lot of things going on. She was young, but you know, it's another added pressure, and you don't necessarily want to peel away each layer, so to speak, like an onion. Like, it can get stinky. You can cry a lot, you know.
We actually told each other we're going to start crying during the show tonight. We will. But it's funny. It goes back to what we were saying last night again. And we had such a great talk on the phone.
Right.
Debbie, my girlfriend, Debbie Tay, she said to me, and again, we spoke about it last night, she was a heroin addict. And I have never done drugs in my life, never experienced drugs. And she, after about 3 months of being together, she said to me, Chaunce, I got to tell you something. I'm a heroin addict. And I have to shoot up 3 times a day at least, or I get very sick. And I remember being stunned by that. And she said, I don't want you to take on that burden, which is pretty much what you were just saying. With someone like Jamie, who obviously had drug and alcohol problems, alcohol problems. Artie obviously had drug and alcohol problems. Was there a point with Artie where he said, I have this problem, you may not want to be around for this. You may want to, and then you don't know what choice to make. Because I had that with Debbie Tay, and I said, listen, if you're going to die, you're going to shoot up, I want to at least be there to try and save you. And it was one of the worst decisions I ever made, because my life from that point on was never the same. Was it the same with Artie? Did you get that choice?
A choice
to stay or go. Like, this is how I am. I'm going to be this guy.
No, the relationship just got a little tumultuous. It was just, he wanted to go home. I think a lot of the complaining about the dog, you know, my dog, became a scapegoat. And I literally found out on the air that when he was on the air that he used heroin.
That's how you found out. Oh.
That's, you know, where I felt a little bit guilty, because I wasn't traveling with him so much anymore, you know. But I couldn't, because, you know, I'm developing a business, and you know, something I was a little passionate about at the time. Not that I wasn't passionate about him, but you know, you have to pay the bills too, and that's what I did.
Isn't it amazing how someone can hide that? I was with Debbie for
Completely.
3 months, and I had no idea. This is three times a day she was injecting heroin into her arm, and I didn't know.
Well, I mean, I didn't know either. Like I said, I didn't travel with him, so I didn't know. The relationship got a little tumultuous, and that's really why I think I retreated. But I guess something else was going on in his mind. There were many, 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 many good points, and it just eventually dissipated because the therapy didn't continue with us. So,
well, I guess it goes back to it's so much deeper than just a relationship.
It wasn't necessarily just therapy, though. It was about health and wellness and happiness and things like that. So
you said it just a moment ago, but comics, there's so many are so self-destructive. You look at Belushi, Chris Farley. We recently lost Richard Jenny, Greg Giraldi, all these great funny guys.
Giraldo.
Did I say Giraldi? Giraldo. These great comics that we lose, why are they so self-destructive?
I can't answer that. I think each individual person has their own cross to bear. I think that is true if you suffer from depression. Your depression might be completely different than my depression,
right?
But depression is depression, and with that, the road to health is just as unique. The road to getting better is just as unique. It's an individual path with little bits of good scattered throughout that we're too, or you might be too sore or too hurt to see. And that's, I think, a step in getting better. Trying to realize, well, what's good? What are the little things that are good in my life that can make me better, that can make me feel better? And you know what? That's up to the individual to see, and you can have help, absolutely, but that has to be on an individual basis.
You know what I wonder, and I love your insight. You look at someone like Belushi and Chris Farley and these guys that were so brilliant, but yet so self-destructive. And you look at the younger comics and the guys who we lost, and thank God we have Artie. It could have been so much. It could have been so much worse. But do you think, like someone like Artie looked at Belushi and felt some sort of kinship where you follow in their footsteps?
No way. Not even a little. No way.
You don't think?
Not at all. No, not at all. Not even close. I think what the link might be is impulsivity. Again, that's another characteristic of, it's another risk. A risk sign, impulsiveness and spontaneity, and not that he had bipolar, but that's another sign, like the ups, the downs, the mood changes. Exactly, the mood changes, stuff like that. I think everybody's reasonings, are different. I don't think he in any way even closely wanted to mimic a Farley, a Belushi, or anyone at all. No way.
You look at Charlie Sheen, and I've interviewed...
You look at Charlie Sheen.
No, you look at Charlie Sheen. I've interviewed a lot of the girls that have been with Charlie Sheen.
I'm sorry.
I know. Well, it's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. And the one thing they all tell me, that Charlie surrounds himself with people who yes him to death. And are there to cater to Charlie's needs. When I think of Artie, do you think that the people around him catered to him probably more than they should, or if it was that same scenario that Charlie Sheen has, where you just get, when you're a user and you're self-destructive, you surround yourself with people that are only going to embrace that instead of saying, hey dude, you're fucking up?
I mean, there can be some validity to that, but there can also be validity in that with your biggest egomaniac. Take, people that don't attempt suicide or commit it. Mm-hmm. You get yes to death. Who doesn't? I mean, not that who doesn't, but take your Paris Hilton, for example. I mean, she didn't attempt suicide, but she gets yes to death, I'm sure. Right. I think there were a variety of people that surrounded him, and I think it was his choice, to decide what arena he wanted to be in that night, day, week.
Is it frustrating for you once you see that and you're limited to what you can do? You love someone, but you're limited and you can't stop that. Did you find that frustrating?
No, I don't know. No, I mean, there was never. No, I didn't find that at all. I mean, I just wanted him to be happy. That's it. On a daily basis, and I think he was for the most part, but had these demons that he, carried on his own. That was the whole thing. That was the whole scare. That was the whole wow. Like who knew? Certainly not me. Maybe I had an idea, and when I did, I reached out. But who knew? So he was still in his attempts, thinking about other people and hiding that, if anything.
When you say demons, could you describe what a demon is? Because it's
no, I don't know. I mean, you describe a demon.
A demon to me, it depends how you're using the term. I have if you want to talk about my demons, we could do a whole show. but when I think of someone who's capable of taking their life, and I think of those kind of demons, I don't know if I can even understand that. And that's why I don't take my life. I believe me, I've had things happen in my life where you would think I would take my life, and I haven't, because I don't have that inside of me, whatever that is. I don't know what led my sister to start a car engine and put duct tape around the garage door and put a blanket on her and go to sleep. Like, that's a demon that I can't relate to. When my girlfriend Debbie put a needle in her arm 200 times until she was dead, I can't understand that demon. So when you say Artie had demons, I
didn't say that. Did I?
Well, you referred to demons.
I mean, of course he had to have demons, and Jamie did too. I mean, I can think of Jamie, she was bulimic. She also used alcohol, and they fed each other. Those were her demons. And the alcohol prevented her, from getting sick. And I think a lot of females anyway, who have a higher rate of attempt than men have a higher rate, but they're successful at it. Females like Jamie, one demon fed the other, which fed the other. The alcohol supposedly helped her not vomit. The bulimia was maybe a controlling thing, and when it's mind-blowing to me. I look at this girl. We're looking at a picture of her now, and we can probably air this, right, Andrew? We can, if it's up to you. It maybe we don't want to. It's up to you. She's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. Did you ever go out with her drinking, or no?
You just knew the father.
Yes, and she worked at my school, so we worked together.
And again, this is part of what motivated you, these two experiences. And I want to talk about the comedy show. It's hard to believe there's a comedy show involved in this interview, but there is.
Yes.
And this is a good question. Most people wouldn't.
What do you think is a good question?
Most people wouldn't relate comedy to suicide, but here we are. We're promoting a comedy show. And again, as we stated earlier, the proceeds are going to go to the
American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and a portion are going to go to the Mara family, and that's it.
Is there a chance that Artie would perform at the show?
Absolutely not. No.
Why?
I don't know.
And I'm only asking because it seems like it would be a no-brainer to sell tickets.
No.
Is there a conflict between the two of you where he wouldn't show, or?
I've not spoken with him at all.
How do you think he would respond, knowing that you're trying to help people that may try and do what Artie tried to do? Do you think he'd embrace it?
I don't know what he's going to do with it, and that's okay. That's for him to live with and decide where he wants to put it. I think, again, my motivation was when Jamie did this in July, I finally had the time to try to organize something, and I reached out to people I've met along the way, such as Jimmy Florentine, Nick DiPaolo, somebody else who was amazing.
Can I say the name of the star you mentioned last night? David Spade?
Absolutely. But Craig Gass has been an instrumental and an amazing man, and especially with Lisa Lampinelli, and those are the comics. Well, Mike Morse, Lisa Lampinelli, Jimmy Florentine, and Craig Gass are going to be performing at the Wellmont, hopefully March 30th. And tickets should be on sale soon enough. But when this happened, I just finished my degree, so I had some time to try to organize this. And I did it because I know how hard Artie worked. I know what a philanthropist he was. I don't think anybody knows how many times he's visited hospital rooms, even once with Jimmy Florentine, to lift someone's spirits when they were sick. And it's just something I thought of doing, to say, hey, I've not spoken to him, and that's fine, but I support you, and I want to look to educate. And really with Jamie, since Jamie was a teacher, I think donating to the foundation to educate children in the New Jersey chapter would be amazing.
Right.
It would be amazing on in her honor and her memory. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention has a tape, this whole instructional program.
And by the way, we're going to be scrolling the number for people to call. If you feel that you're in crisis, or if you know anyone that's in crisis, there's going to be a number on the screen when this broadcast that people can call, and hopefully that will help someone. If it helps one person, this show is worth it.
It's 800-273-TALK. The thing is, though, is that, there are so many people. If you, Chauncey, anyone else in here or listening, I'm sure you can think of one person you might be concerned about, but it's really difficult, I think, to find the resources. 1-800-273-TALK, you can get the help that you need. As a teacher myself, I think, and, you were saying before, they say if someone says, I'm going to commit suicide, they're not going to do it. But I don't know where that came from.
Such a bad misconception.
I don't know where that came from.
I think I invented it when my sister said she was going to kill herself.
It's crazy.
It was, but I lived with that my whole life. And to this day, as we sit here, there's regret, and there will be regret in my life till I die. But I've been in a lot of therapy, and I would recommend anybody who goes through this see somebody, because there's so many places to go. When it happened to me, I went to a place called the Suicide Survivors Group, and I think every community has something similar. It may not be called that, but it might change from community to community. But there's nothing better than being around other people that went through the same thing.
Well, I think I would suggest that as well. I think support groups are amazing, but even that, as a family member or a survivor, you have to walk into a place saying, I'm hurt, I need something. It's almost like walking into an AA meeting. There's a stigma attached, but I think they're amazing, and I hope that people will be more inclined to search support groups in their area just to heal together, not to have it, be one big bitch fest. Like, I think people think, wow, I'm going to walk into this support group and listen to everybody else's problems. I got my own to deal with, my own pain. But I think support groups can be amazing. And again, I really just tried to organize this. And yes, a comedy show, because Artie is a great comic and so talented. And
Dana, can I ask you a question? If you could talk to Artie right now, if he was sitting across from me, what would you say to him?
I would just say it's okay. I hope he's healing finally, being stronger, and I love him very much. And it's okay. And that's it. That's the only message. I've reached out to many, many people to try to say that. And whether he heard it or not, I'm not so sure. But it doesn't matter. It's okay. And he should just heal and get himself better.
Do you feel people think that you're bad for Artie at this point for his mental well-being, and there's been like a wall put between you and him because people feel like it's too upsetting for him?
I have no idea. I mean, that would be up to him, and it is better. Who wants to deal? I wouldn't want to deal with a relationship. I mean,
no, but you're a loving person, and just from the brief time I've spoken to you, you can tell that you're someone that's intentions are good, and I think that's what Artie needs: somebody whose intentions are good, and you seem to be able to offer that. I don't know what anybody thinks. I think it's really up to him. I mean, or not. I don't know. What was the question? I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. I'm not going to say what I want to say. I'm not going to say. What is the biggest misconception about you with the Stern fans? Because let's face it, there's no way around it. If you're going to be promoting the show, there are going to be a lot of Howard Stern fans who are going to want to come to this event, and a lot of people have questions about you as a person. You know that you've been spoken about on national radio for a couple of years. People have a lot of questions about you. What should people know about you that they don't know?
Wow. I don't know. I mean, I really can't control what people think.
But
I'm not sure what they think.
But what should they know? Tell me about yourself.
I mean, what should they know?
What's to know about Dana
Cironi. Well, you're getting me on. The other thing I was thinking about, you're saying Dana Cironi, you mentioned David Spade. First of all, he was amazing. I was going to do a silent auction at the fundraiser, the event on March 30th. I'm not anymore. But I have to say he was and is amazing. He was an amazing support. You ask me, what should people see in me? People should see in me what he sees in me. How, I definitely
Why can't it be what I see in you? Why does it have to be what David Spade? You're such a star fucker. Why can't it be what I see in you? It has to be what David Spade sees in you?
No, because, I've spoken to him and he said that,
I bet you I know you better than David Spade already.
Yeah, get out of here. No way.
What David Spade sees of me.
No, he was great, and he made me feel really good when he said, people know that you are I was a positive in Artie's life, not a negative. And what people think, I have no idea. It's been a long time, so I don't know what people think anymore.
How long has it been?
I don't know.
Are we talking years? Are we talking a year? I don't even know myself at this point.
Well, what do you mean? I mean, Artie's attempt was a year ago, and
And how long was it before that you actually saw him?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, July. I guess July. Around the DUI time, I went over into Hoboken to try to help him.
Okay, and that was highly publicized when Artie got pulled over in Toms River, New Jersey, and. A lot of people felt like that was really when he fell off the cliff. At that point, things progressed really fast, it seemed.
I wasn't necessarily in his life at the time on a regular basis, but I did. I wasn't actually. He had another woman in his life, and I still, tried to help him because I loved him very much. Him, the person.
Right.
I didn't care that somebody's shoes were on the floor and clothes were hanging in the closet. I thought, I'm going to help you again. And that's all I wanted. I just want to see a great man happy. That's it. And I want to see people out there listening. I want to see you happy. I want, people to know that there's an alternative.
Did he understand that?
Not the answer. I don't know.
I mean, was he getting that message from you?
I think with Artie, he was using drugs, he was drinking, so that's a contributor. Same with Jamie. She was drinking. And whenever there's a substance involved, your mind is altered. Right. And so, that's not, I guess, the Artie, that's not the Jamie we all know and love, and that's it.
A lot of people I know with Debbie Tay, she only had me in her life. There was really no family to turn to. Artie had a family. Was that family a positive influence in his life? He seemed to have a lot of support from them.
Yeah, he had a lot of support. He's very close with his mother and his sister, and that's only a good thing. How what they did, they're very close, and it's a very similar to my own family. I have just my mother and my sister. He has his mom and his sister, so it's similar. And his family's amazing.
Did they embrace you as a positive force in his life? Did they know how you helped him? Did they appreciate that, do you think?
Sure, I think so. I think for most of the time, absolutely. We got along great, for a long time, so.
So it goes back to the original question. What should we know about Dana Cironi? How do you say your name again? I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Rice Cironi.
Cironi.
What should you know? I don't know. Look, I'm a woman of many passions. This has now become something I'm a little passionate about. I think what Artie did in his life, a comic.
Right.
Jamie, a teacher. Being a comic is amazing. If you can make people laugh. Is there anything better? And then Jamie, a teacher. If you can help a student, a child, is there anything better? I don't think so. And so I know, and I've seen the dark side. I work toward the light, and try to spread that, and that's what I'm trying to do here. I want to say, hey, Artie, we support you. Jamie, we love and support you.
Right.
Again, I want to say that the foundation has a video called More Than Sad, and Alabama currently uses it in every school throughout the entire state, 513 schools. They use this More Than Sad video with its instructions with it and all the information. So I would only hope to do that here in New Jersey in Jamie's memory, to educate children.
All the proceeds. Oh, we have a question. Go ahead. Wait, we have one question for you. I'm afraid to look at it.
Oh, boy. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking.
I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. I'm not going to say what I want to add. Here's one question.
I'm thinking of what I want to say.
Okay. This is from a fan of the show. Is there anything that Dana would like to clear that was said about her on the air? Was there ever anything that was said on the Howard Stern show that you would like to dispel or clear up?
Can I have that? Can I crumple it up into a million pieces?
No.
No. Actually, not that I can recall, but please realize I was working when the show was on.
Do you listen to the Howard Stern show?
Not anymore. Not at all.
Did you listen back in those days when you were dating Artie?
When I started to date Artie, yes.
It had to be weird hearing your name talked about all the time.
Yes, it was.
Did people know who you were at school? Like, did you?
No, not really.
Because you always have flown under the radar.
Yeah.
You really have. That's why I was excited to meet you, because I've heard so many great things about you.
Oh.
But you never know until you meet someone what they really like. And just talking on the phone, I fell in love with you.
Oh.
You know, there's some people you can just tell have a great heart, and you can tell just talking
Thank
to you for
you.
5 minutes that you have an incredible heart.
Thank you.
And I could totally see what Artie saw in you.
Thank you.
You almost want to kill Artie. I hate to use the analogy for losing someone like you, because he had a great thing.
Oh, well, look, I mean, don't get me wrong. When he and I met, we drank together. I mean, I could do as many shots as him at one time. And then I was a bartender in Hoboken, and
That's how you guys met,
yes,
right?
and people would come in and they'd buy him shots, and then I'd fill the shot glass with like ginger ale instead of tequila, and Artie found that so endearing, But
Even then, you were trying to help him. Even then. See?
Well, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, I hate that saying.
Okay, but this is the situation, and again, what you're doing is a great thing, but this is what I want to ask you, point blank, because I know it's going to be a problem down the road at one point.
What's going to be a problem?
I'm going to tell you.
Oh my God!
I'm looking at a picture of Jamie, who you brought her obituary, to show me, and beautiful girl, terrible story, but at the end of the day. And this is a good thing, and this is a bad thing. This show is going to sell out, and a lot of people are going to come, but you're going to be the person behind this. You're going to be the name that people identify with Artie, with this show, and for the next 4 weeks, as you promote this show, and as you try and sell tickets, are you prepared for all the questions and that connection and the Dana and Artie stories and all the things that you're going to be stirring up that may have settled down over the last year that are going to come back? And I don't know how to avoid that. I don't know how you're going to avoid it, and I don't know how you're going to be able to deal with it.
I think you're creating a lot of drama.
Do you really think so?
Well, look, I don't know about that, but I will say I can only hope that this show here, but really the event on March 30th will be nothing but, I want to say, a silent celebration, but hopefully it's not that silent, because we want to sell it out, right? So hopefully it's a celebration of some sort. It will sell out.
It absolutely will.
It has to, yes. But it will be a celebration of some sort, in that, maybe he's healing and has been healing for the last year, and it's just time to embrace life and enjoy it, and to listen to some great comics, like Lisa Lampinelli is amazing.
She's genius.
She is unbelievable.
She's going to come on the show. We're going to get her on the show.
She is. And without hesitation, just like Jimmy Florentine, Craig Gass is amazing. Without hesitation, have all been supportive. Also, Allison, Fred's wife, Beth, have been amazing. An amazing support for me. I keep saying amazing, and it's getting on my own nerves. But they really have. And, I just... I'm thinking of him, and that's all right. It's fine. It's a show. It's what Artie did. It's a celebration of life and just making people laugh, and that's it.
But here's a question I know fans of the show would want to ask, and I'm going to try and be their voice. Howard refuses to talk about Artie on the air. He won't do it. If a fan brings up Artie's name, he changes the subject. What is it that has kept Artie from doing the show and Howard from talking about it? Do you have, in your own opinion, not that you would have insight firsthand, but your thoughts of why there's that separation? Well,
I happen to agree with it, and I hope I've not crossed that boundary myself, because you're right. I can't deny the fact that, yes, I'm associated with him. I would have never been able to pull off this event on March 30th. Hopefully I'll be able to pull it off. But
you will. You will.
I'd never be able to pull it off without Artie. So that's fine, and that's what I'm talking about, and that's it. I think I agree with what Howard's doing 100%. I wouldn't want to talk about it either. He needs to heal. Whatever, defer to the family. If the family wants to make a statement, let them make a statement. If Artie wants to make a statement, he should make a statement. Mm-hmm. It's not for Howard to make a statement. Howard's great, all due respect, without Artie there, or and it was greater with him there. It is, that he's an amazing talent. The show goes on, and it should. I think anything Howard might say firsthand about Artie would just be that, just more gossip. I think it's fine. It's fine. I wouldn't want to talk about it either. I really don't want to talk about it.
I know,
at all.
But I know you don't. You're being a trooper.
Fucker.
You're being great. Well, you know what the alternative is? Talking about you.
I don't care. I'd rather talk about me than Artie.
Tell me one secret.
There's nothing to know, but
we're gonna find out. Tell me one secret about yourself that you've never told anyone.
I date baby Jesus.
You date baby Jesus?
Yeah, I went from baby gorilla to baby Jesus.
Wait a second, I just missed something. Just tell me that again.
I date baby Jesus from Shat.
Andrew, do you know what she's talking about?
Yeah, she just said baby gorilla, Artie.
Yeah, Don Rickles called him baby gorilla. I went from baby gorilla to baby Jesus.
See, I'm trying to get away from it, and you're dragging me back in.
What? That's a secret.
That's a secret?
Yeah, now people know I date baby Jesus.
Andrew, you better enlighten me again. Get on the mic.
The man sitting behind me.
That's baby Jesus?
Yeah.
Why do you call your new boyfriend baby Jesus?
That's his name in Shat.
Oh, in the band Shat.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now
get it? I went from a baby gorilla to baby Jesus. I don't know.
So you're in. So what
you got me on the spot.
What you're telling fans is that you are in a relationship now. What do you just told me? Now you act like I just said something shocking, and you just admitted that you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
I repeat it, and you go, "Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that." You said it.
I'm nervous. It's new, but it's the first relationship. First relationship.
Watch how bad it gets. You don't want to talk about Artie? We won't talk about Artie.
Fine.
Are you in love?
I'm not in love yet. I know.
Oh my God! This is awkward. This is getting really awkward.
No, I love him. I do. It's been 2 months, so no, it's been 5.
What is his name? Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus. Is it weird for you to hear stories about Artie and sit here, or are you okay with that at this point in the relationship? Are you secure enough with hearing?
Oh yes, I'm very, very secure with that. Yeah, I've been a fan of the Howard Stern show for years and years back. When I used to listen to what was it, that YSB from Philadelphia, which was the only thing I could get when I was over at West Jersey. But I've always been into the Stern show, and
is it kind of surreal that you're dating Dana? I'm not talking to you. I am not talking to you now. We're talking to baby Jesus.
No, I wasn't really starstruck with Dana at all. It was kind of a
baloney.
It's kind of a.
Were you starstruck? Was that?
The weirdest thing is I fell in love with her mom first.
Yeah.
And her mom says, "Well, you got to meet my Dana. You got to meet my Dana." So that's kind of.
She is lovable.
So love him.
Really,
I do love him.
you are lovable.
I love you too.
Hi, baby Jesus. What did you just say?
I love you too.
Oh my
See, he does love you, and I have a feeling it's a little unbalanced. You're still at the point now where it's not exactly even.
It's so
I could
even.
See,
Why would you say that?
Because I could see a guy
I said
feeling.
it first to him.
No, you didn't. You said you want in love you. He
Well,
loves you.
come on, let's not throw this term loosely, and that's the problem too with people today. They
Because you're
just
coming
throw
off
the
a
term
bad
around.
relationship. Let's.
No. They throw the term around loosely. I mean, it's been about 5 months, but it takes time to get to know someone. No, it's been much longer. It's been a long relationship for baby Jesus and I, but
Do guys hit on you all the time?
in class, I'm a teacher. When are they going to hit on me? I don't do anything.
What do you do when a kid? You teach what? 1st to 7th grade?
I teach K through 8.
What do you do when an 8th grader who's starting to get
Puberty?
pubes and he starts getting that itch in his pants, and obviously you're a gorgeous person, he's gonna have that feeling for you, like I have right now. And
I love you, baby Jesus. I love you, baby Jesus.
because I have an itch in my pants.
Can I have a kiss? All right,
You're
go ahead.
talking to me?
Should we go in curtain 4?
See, you do the sexy voice again that you were doing before the show.
Hi, Chauncey. It's me. Are your ears vibrating? Is this a
That
sexy
is
voice?
so fucking hot. Say
What do you
this.
want me to say?
Say Chauncey.
Chauncey.
Wait till I don't say a word, because there's not going to be a turn on it. Right? You say, say this. Say this sentence.
Say this.
Wait till I say it. Say, Chauncey, you turn me on so much that it makes me forget any man I've ever been with. And say it with that sexy voice.
Chauncey, you fucking Jew.
Why do you have to go there?
Because you were asking how much
Why do
this
you have to-
microphone costs.
Why do you have to go there?
You were asking how much this microphone costs.
First of all-
you call me Dana Cironi.
Cerrone.
Cironi.
No, first of all, I'm like 2%
And you're like,
Jew.
oh, my eye, it still hurts from the Botox. The needle was stuck in my eye, and then I wanted to put it in my pants.
I'm doing such a great thing
It's
tonight.
cold in here. How was the limo?
You just made.
How was the limo?
You just ruined a great masturbatory experience for
Chauncey,
me.
shh, baby,
Go ahead.
baby,
All right.
baby.
Shh, 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 shh.
Chauncey,
Yes.
I want you to take your hand,
Yes.
put them between your legs.
Yes.
Is anything there?
No. Not yet.
Chauncey, this is a strip club, honey.
By the way, have you looked at the curtains in here? Wait till you examine the
I
curtains.
can't wait for Teresa to stop staring at me.
Have you ever had a lap dance?
Yes.
Have you ever been with a woman?
No.
You just said you had a lap dance. Then when I ask, have you been with a woman, you act like I just said the craziest thing anyone ever could have said. But yet, it was fine to have a lap
Just
dance.
a few. No, not at all.
Never were curious?
No.
Really?
Yeah,
You're one of those.
men.
You're like an old-fashioned Italian, right?
Yeah.
You're one of those.
I like my mother. No.
See, if I was a woman, I'd be going crazy. I'd be doing everything. I think I'd be a whore. If I was a woman, I think I would want money for sex. What stops a woman from having... What stops you from actually becoming a prostitute? Because I don't know what would stop me.
My education.
Big deal. What do you make as a teacher? If I offered you...
It's not about the money
All right,
only.
let's play a game. If I offered you...
That's a good point. It's not about the money, actually. I have a biology degree. I have my master's. I love the children. I mean, come on. It's so gratifying when they... Oh, my God. It's
But you're-
amazing.
look at
I
you.
have a story. Can I say this?
Yes, you can.
I do have a story. Listen to this. Well, if you want.
Of course we want to hear your
Or
story.
tune out. No, don't tune out. No, I have a great story. I was setting up for a surprise birthday party. Truth, right? Chauncey. I was setting up, and my phone vibrated.
Yeah.
I grabbed it immediately, and I put
Can you
it.
say this slower and deeper?
The phone vibrated. No, and my text message went off. I was standing on a chair, I was putting up a decoration, and I wasn't going to get it. I was like, oh, it's just somebody running late or something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I got it, and it happened to be a former student of mine. And I don't give my number out to everyone, but it was a former student of mine saying goodbye. And she was saying she wants to be with her grandfather and all this. Great girl, smart girl. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure what to do because of the threat of saying goodbye and I will always love you. I'm going to be with my grandfather, all this.
Did you freak out?
I did freak out a little bit, but I was throwing a surprise birthday party, 40th birthday party. So,
by the way, this story's not turning me on, but go ahead.
I don't care. So anyway, so what happened was I decided to immediately call the police. And
as you should, yeah.
No, but you know what? I didn't know, not necessarily.
Right, no, you did the right thing.
Not necessarily, and that's what I think people should do if they think that someone is in crisis, especially if it's an adolescent or a teen. Call.
I never take a threat. I never take a suicide threat lightly. I don't care how much you're joking. You're going to regret telling me that because I'll never lose another friend.
Well, I didn't know. Right. I mean, I didn't know the end result until a little bit later. I just called the police and I knew that I couldn't I knew that I couldn't take the guilt of not doing anything.
Right.
So what ended up happening was, to this day, she thanks me for saving her life.
So she really was. She really was.
Yes.
No
and
kidding.
the police found her.
That's an amazing story.
They found her, and I love her so much.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah. And her and her two siblings to this day say I saved her life, and I'll go to my own deathbed with that, saying, God, I really did do something. And so
that's a good story.
That's why I love my job. No, I don't make a lot of money, but who cares, So in
other words, you're not going to have sex if I offer you $1 million. Like, you would turn that down, is what you're trying to say.
Can we turn the mics off? No.
we have 2 minutes? Really? I'm having so much fun. I think I'm in 2 hours. No,
come on. So let's get fun now. Let's get fun now.
You want to get fun? Because I have a lot of fun questions. No, we got to start wrapping it up, but I want to ask about you briefly.
Do it.
I'm really turned on by you. I seriously am. There's something so sexy about you. Baby Jesus, you are so lucky.
You have no idea. Come on.
Are you a sexual person?
Yes.
Are you really?
Yeah, of course.
You can tell. And
you can, right?
You have that raspy Deborah Ringer voice.
Deborah Ringer. Couldn't you say Demi Moore?
Oh, yeah, I'm so fucking
Deborah
old.
Winger? You have to say Demi Moore.
I'm so old. It's fucking ridiculous.
How old are you, Chaunce?
You have like that Mae West voice.
Mae West. Demi Moore. Come here, Ashton. Kiss me.
Can I ask you one question before I let you go? This is an important question.
Take that coat off.
You want me to?
Yeah.
See, I know you like guys a little heavy. Let me ask you.
I don't have a type. Look at baby Jesus.
That's true. When we read about teachers running off with their students. Teachers. Are you shocked by that? Can you understand that?
Teachers running off with what?
With students.
Oh my God.
When
that was my school, by the way.
It's like the new thing now where teachers are having sex with their little students. I mean, I'm talking about teachers like you with kids in preschool. I mean, it's nuts.
I don't even, honestly, it's disgusting. I couldn't even fathom that. And I don't even want to go there because it's disgusting.
It is. It's unbelievable, but it seems to be a whole rash. It seems to be like an epidemic. It's an epidemic.
Where's this epidemic? In Queens? Like, what are you talking about?
Tampa, Florida. It happens in Tampa, Florida.
Tampa. I mean, come on. You know what? And that's the problem, by the way.
Yes.
Teachers are not spoken of enough in all the good that we do. You have no idea on a daily basis how many things.
Isn't it a double standard, though?
Double standard.
When a female teacher is with a kid.
No, I'm not commenting on this news story.
But can I just
say,
the poll? You're not even involved in. What I'm saying is, when I read about that, I find it to be a turn on, and when it's the other way around, it's sickening and perverted. Why is that?
I don't know,
Andrew. Why is that?
I don't know.
Andrew's just mad I said Queens.
You know why Andrew can't say? Because his wife's a teacher, so he can't say anything either.
Right, see?
All right, listen. I want to thank you for coming on the show. Are we friends for life?
Oh my God!
Are you going to
How can we
hate me
not
in like
be?
3 days?
I'm going to hate you for bringing Artie up a little too much.
Oh,
but
come
you know
on.
what? I just hope that he's healing, and I hope that this can be an event to say, "Hey, Artie, we love you, and we're here to support you." And I'm saying, like Lisa and Craig and Jimmy, and the foundation is amazing, and I keep saying amazing.
I want to dedicate this show to my sister Debbie.
Oh,
and I want to dedicate it to
And can I please also? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That was unbelievable. I was going to dedicate it to my girlfriend, and you just stepped right over me. Like,
well, you have to. Okay.
I don't know if I like you. No, seriously, I want to dedicate this show to my sister Debbie and to Debbie Tate, and of course to you and your great work.
Oh, thank you,
Because I really do think you're you're not a great person. You're an incredible person.
Please, but thank
Seriously.
you, and I'm so honored that these amazing comics have that they decided to come on board and do this.
All great people. Name the names again one more time.
Lisa Lampinelli, I love you. Thank you. You're sick. I love it. Craig, amazing. I can't. Jesus. Jimmy Florentine, I don't know that I could have done it without you and your support. Nick DiPaolo, also David Spade, thank you so much.
And I'm sure there's going to be plenty more too.
I want to also say thank you to Greg Charles for offering Caroline's for the event. However, Jersey, we don't like to drive into New York. But anyway,
and we need a lot of seats. This is gonna sell out. We need to make a lot of money. Where's it going to be again?
It's going to be at the Wellmont Theater. Lisa Seamus, thank you for helping me with all of this and organizing it. Peggy from the foundation. Mike Morse, thank you for coming on board. Benji, you've been great. Allison, of course, Beth have been an amazing support.
Oh, and by the way, people can actually read your writing in Beth's new book that came out.
Yes. Oh, my dog. Yes, absolutely.
And where else can we read your writings?
Well, in an upcoming issue of Martha Stewart Living, a dog grooming article.
And you're also studying to be an acupuncturist? Can I say that?
I will be.
One day.
I will be.
20 years from now. I'm not saying anytime
I do Reiki,
soon.
hon. I do Reiki.
And Reiki, you rake
And
leaves, you do everything. Like, you can come in, you can rake my lawn too. And I also want to.
I like acupuncture. That's why I'm bruised. No, that's baby Jesus.
That's for another show. I want to thank the good people at the GFQ Live TV network. I want to thank my boss Andrew.
You can't get it right. You work for me and you can't get it right.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
I just said it right. Didn't I? The GFQ.
GFQ Network.
That's what I said.
I said the GFQ Live.
Well, that's where people can watch it live. GFQLive.tv.
Oh, we got that right.
You got it right. Look at that.
Of course I did. And I want to thank Sapphire Gentlemen's Club for letting us broadcast from the VIP room. Scott the engineer, not the Scott the engineer, my Scott the engineer, who we wouldn't be able to do the show without. And of course, the most important person on the show, Shauna Thompson, my producer, who quietly sits there and just shakes her head and has to drive home with me, and it's always a very frightening experience.
Is she going to drive with Julio, the limo driver?
No, she has to come home with me, and it's terrifying for
Jesus.
her. Yeah, it's not a fun experience. And who else? Anybody else we should be thanking? Stepping Out Magazine, of course, Larry Collins, so-mag.com. It's another place you can see the show. Pick up the magazine next week. On the cover, who's on the cover this week, Shauna? Do you remember? Blaine Morse from the TV show Skins. And I guess that's it. Guys, if you're feeling, women, if you're watching the show and you're feeling blue, you're feeling like you want to hurt yourself, call the number that's going to be scrolling across this screen all during the show and get help. Because we love you, Dana loves you, and you never know. One day, you might even get sex with Dana. She's wild. She's crazy. You might meet him in a bar. Baby Jesus won't be around, and God knows what could happen.
Let's calm down. That's not going to happen.
You just killed like about 50 people. You just murdered 50 people.
Stop it. Well, 1 in 15.
Just say there's a chance. There's a chance.
There's no chance.
Guys, there's always a chance.
Oh, fine.
All right. We'll be back next week.
You and I have a chance, right?
You and I always have a chance.
Can you touch me?
I'm touching you now.
Can I have more champagne?
Yes, you can. We're about to get hammered. We'll be back next week.
I'm sweating.
Dana Cironi, everybody. Did I say it right? Cironi. Cironi.
It's Dana Rooney.
Dana. Just
Dana Rooney.
Just Dana.
Casey also. Thank you, Case.
Thank you, Casey.
Casey, love you.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night. We love you. That's it.